reflections on this third day at the COP?
If this I would say it's like a football game where you have two very clear sides. The leaders wanted to win for us all, and the leaders that wants to win for themselves.
Different teams, huh?
And not even their children, but themselves. Because it's old leaders, they don't have many years left on this planet, and they only care about power and money. And if it wouldn't be that the stakes are incredibly high, you could kind of watch this on distance and applaud when you see something good and shout out when you see something bad. But I mean, we don't have time for hundreds of COPs. We need to move forward. The clock is ticking.
Indeed.
So in one way, I feel a lot of hope that the elephant in the room is finally out. Oil is at the core of discussion, not just talked about. It's in the negotiations. It's what people are talking about. And I would like, as I normally do, I would like to give out some love and some warnings.
The heart is there and the triangle is there.
And the love I would like to start with is to Sunak, Prime Minister of UK. He has been heavily criticized because he is supporting phase out of fossil fuel. And here's the thing, and this is concerning me a lot. People are starting to call him out as a hypocrite because he's doing the right thing. And the reason why they call him out a hypocrite is that just a couple of months ago he was approving hundreds of new oil and coal and gas licenses.
Yes.
But here's the thing, the reason why we need legislation internationally is that we need to agree that everyone needs to phase out fossil fuel. We can't just do it in one country. We need to do it everywhere. So it's not hypocrites to do the wrong thing and to try to get everyone to do the right thing. It's actually good action. But it's bad leadership. Because if you're a good leader, you're living by doing it yourself.
You shouldn't have auctioned out the rights.
And you try to pursue the others to do the same. But it's not Sunak that is the problem here. The problem, however, I started this COP meeting, I kind of was positive, surprised about the hosting country in the chair, because he stepped up and seemed to be willing to do an independent role as a chair. And he made this loss and damage fund happen the first day. That's his story.
Impressive, yeah.
But what he said, what came out in media that he has said quite recently are worrying me very, very much. He's saying that phasing out fossil fuel doesn't need to happen according to science. It's one way of saying that we can't phase out fossil fuel because we don't want to do it because we will lose money. Fine. But the science is clear. There is no future for continued burning of fossil fuel. It's a matter of if we're doing it fast or slow, but we must phase out fossil fuel. And that is what the UN General Secretary are stating very, very clearly. And I will read a quote from the UN Secretary. The 1.5 degree limit is not only possible if we ultimately stop burning all fossil fuels, not reduce, not abate, phase out, with a clear time frame aligned with 1.5 degrees. It's science. You can have different opinions, but you can't change science and fact. We can negotiate with other countries, but we can't negotiate with natural science.
Indeed,
That's
Ingmar.
absurd. But I will, although, end with a very positive note.
End on a positive news.
Yes.
Piece of news, please.
So I take with me this.
Go ahead.
Because I have a very, very big love to give. And this is exciting news. And what's exciting, if you watched this show yesterday, we were so glad. We had 8 countries supporting phasing out fossil fuel, and there were 2 more countries added yesterday. Colombia was one of them. Today, we're 100 countries supporting phase out of fossil fuel, and not just saying it randomly at an event. They're doing it in the negotiations. They're fighting for it. It's a majority of the countries on the planet are pro phasing out fossil fuel. It's historic. And as we all know, we need 200 countries to agree. That will not happen. But before COP28, there were 8 countries. Now it's 100 and counting. It's the most incredible news ever. And what I think we're going to see, I think we're going to see this COP maybe as Copenhagen. The big failure before we will have the COP with a big success. That was Paris Agreement the year after Copenhagen. But maybe it's happening now. Maybe it's never happening. I don't know. But let's not wait and see. Let's act. And everyone can join this call, End Fossil. You can do it on wecandoit.tech/endfossil. And you can speak outspoken about it yourself, and you can act. And if you're a leader, you don't need to dig up more oil like UK are doing. You can actually do it anyway to show leadership. So that's incredibly good. If we see other things going on in app, you could read a lot of warnings and love, good and bad action. And one warning we talked about this morning was Lula da Silva, president of Brazil. He used the COP meeting to announce that they are joining OPEC the first day. And the day after COP is over, Brazil will have an auction where they will release 600 new oil and gas projects the day after COP. I'm not at COP, but I heard by my colleagues that were there that Lula yesterday had this speech in a room full of world leaders where he cried. He had tears talking about how bad it is that the world is going to be destroyed, and where he is feeling that he is doing the right thing. Is he crying over his own bad failed leadership? Or is it just playing theater? Or is it kind of don't understand it? I don't understand this. I don't understand how you can be seen as a climate leader in the world and auction 600 new oil licenses the day after COP. That's not a climate love. That's a climate warning. So if you agree on that, you can go to We Don't Have Time and you can do that. But there's also happening more things. We don't have it here somewhere. But anyway, European Union and US, they are also joining a coalition with, I think, over 100 countries to triple renewables and double up energy efficiency. So it's a lot of positive things happening there. But where is this going to end? Is it going to be Copenhagen, or is it going to be Paris, or something else? I don't know. The only thing I know is that we need to keep pushing it. And I think we can do that. Let's do it. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ingmar. Thank